The book begins with 12-year-old Gabe seeing the Great Pyramid of Egypt for the first time. He's filled with awe at the sight of the. I'm just kidding. Instead of admiring the pyramids, Gabe starts complaining. I'm thirsty, Mommy. Get me water. He complains to Mom 4 times. That doesn't work, so he complains to Dad 5 times. What a whiny complainer.
Argle Fump Book Review. Argle Fump Book Review.
Mom and Dad have to leave on an emergency. Gabe starts whining again, so they agree to let him stay here in Cairo with his Uncle Ben and cousin Sari. Sari thinks she's so great because she has a Super Nintendo. All Gabe has is a normal Nintendo and a Nintendo Game Boy. Oh, Gabe, you poor thing. Gabe also has a good luck charm, which he calls the Mummy's Hand. He got it at a random garage sale. Remember that for the ending of the book. Gabe worries when his relatives don't show up on time. He's terrified when a mummy staggers into the room. It's a fake-out scare prank. Uncle Ben and cousin Sari laugh their heads off at him. Sari loves to scare Gabe and does it throughout the entire book. She doesn't really need to, as Gabe does a pretty good job of scaring himself. When Uncle Ben takes them into the pyramid, Gabe is scared of climbing the rope ladder, and he almost falls off. Uncle Ben introduces the kids to a weird co-worker named Ahmed. Ben gets distracted by work, and he ignores the kids. Sari says they should sneak off and explore the uncharted tunnels. That's a terrible idea. Gabe doesn't want to look like a wimp in front of his cousin, so he goes along with it. He stops to tie his shoe, and by the time he's finished, Sari is gone. He figures it's another prank, but he starts to get scared because he's all alone, lost in a pyramid. He runs forward, and he finds an empty mummy case. But it's not empty. The lid slowly raises. 2 eyes glare at him in the darkness. Gabe screams, and it's a fake-out scare prank. Sari laughs her head off because she scared him good. Uncle Ben hears the screaming. At first, he's furious at them for wandering off and playing, but he thinks it's a pretty good prank, so he and Sari start laughing a lot. Wow, Uncle Ben, you're a terrible guardian. 2 of the workers are hospitalized with shock. Uncle Ben goes to visit them while the kids stay at the hotel. Sari thinks they should run off and explore, even though that's a terrible idea which backfired last time. They go to a nearby museum where Gabe explains how mummies are made. He takes great joy in grossing Sari out. That's when Ahmed arrives. They're scared and try to run away, but he corners them in a dead end. Ahmed says Uncle Ben wants to see them in the hotel. Ahmed forces them to ride in his car, but he drives too far in the wrong direction. Gabe realizes this is a kidnapping. I would argue that being kidnapped by an angry stranger is way scarier than the fake-out mummy scares. The next time the car stops, Gabe and Sari open the doors and run away through the crowd. They get back to the hotel. Uncle Ben doesn't really seem to process the fact that his daughter was just kidnapped. He's a bit too preoccupied with his co-workers. They seem to be victims of a mummy curse. Uncle Ben takes the kids with him to the pyramid, because I guess it's take your daughter to work week in Egypt. He gives them flashlights and emergency beepers in case they get lost. Once again, Gabe stops to tie his shoe. By the time he's finished, the others are gone. Dang it, Gabe! Learn to keep your shoes tied already! Or at least tell your companions to stop walking while you tie your shoes. Gabe tries to catch up with them, but he gets lost. The floor collapses under his feet, and he lands in a creepy mummy room. There are all sorts of mummies standing in weird positions. Gabe worries the mummies are alive, and he screams for help. This attracts a bunch of scorpions! Killer scorpions! Gabe drops his flashlight in fear, and the scorpions brush past his feet. It's creepy. I thought it was the best scare of the book. Sari arrives in the tunnel. She uses her beeper to contact Uncle Ben, but Ahmed arrives first. Ahmed is a crazed maniac. He says that they violated the sacred chambers of Priestess Kala, and now he's going to murder them, just like all the other intruders. Gabe is horrified to realize many of the mummies here were killed recently. Ugh. Uncle Ben arrives and tries to talk Ahmed out of killing them all. Ahmed responds by knocking Uncle Ben unconscious. He puts everyone into mummy coffins, but luckily, the coffins have secret escape hatches. Wow, that's so convenient. Our heroes are easily able to get out. Our heroes are idiots, so they decide to leave through the same tunnel Ahmed uses, instead of going out through the other exit. Ahmed easily captures them again. He decides to throw them in the tar pit when Gabe pulls out his mummy hand toy. Apparently, the mummy hand is used to summon ancient spirits. Gee, it sure would have been nice to know that 100 pages earlier. When Gabe holds the hand into the air, the mummies come to life and attack Ahmed. They almost burn him alive. Ahmed runs away, the mummies return to their normal spots, and there's no scary ending. Everyone gets to live happily ever after. Until the sequel, that is. The end. Post-book follow-up. I didn't like this book. Gabe is such a whiny brat that he ruined the story for me. I don't want to read a book with such a terrible narrator. The narrator in Monster Blood was sort of the same way. I think it works fine when the narrator's easily scared and worried. That's good for a horror book. But when all he does is whine non-stop about everything, that's not good. It just makes me root for the monster, not the hero. Sari was better, although some readers disliked her. She definitely likes to show off and act like a jerk to Gabe. It makes sense that they're always competing for attention, since they're the same age, but I can understand how that could come across as Sari is super mean. Ahmed was a decent villain. Some people probably wanted a mummy monster, but I'd say a crazed serial killer is definitely scary. I liked how the book built up the suspense with Ahmed. First he's weird, then he corners them, then he kidnaps them, then he tries to kill them repeatedly. That's a good escalation of events. Overall, the book has some good stuff, and I'd probably like it way better if the narrator wasn't awful. We've seen the basic whiny boy who makes bad decisions character in multiple Goosebumps books before, so I'm a little worried there will be more books in the future with similar bad narrators. I give Goosebumps number 5, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, 3 mummies out of 10.